Hey, I'm Germany Walden, and I'll be presenting a report on Cisco and Performance Food Corporation. So, abstract, the report tries to analyze the performance of the companies in the last few years. For the purpose of analysts, various ratios have been calculated which would indicate on the financial performance of the company in the last 5 years. These ratios will indicate on the liquidity, solvency, and profitability position of the company. The ratios will indicate how well the company is paying creditors and how efficient is the company in collecting its receivables. The ratios also give a picture of how efficiently the company is utilizing its assets, whether they are paying their debt in proper manner. The report also compares the performance of both companies over the last 5 years comparing the ratio. Cisco Corporation, incorporated in 1969, the company is engaged in the distribution of food and related products, primarily to the food service or food away from home industry. The company operates in 3 segments, which include broadline, SYG&A, and other. The broadline operating companies distribute food products and non-food products to both traditional and chain restaurant customers, hospitals, schools, hotels, industrial caterers, and other venues where food products are served. The company's broadline segment includes in broadline operation in countries like Bahamas, Canada, Costa Rica, Ireland, Mexico, and the United States. The food distributed by company includes a line of frozen food such as meats, seafood, fully prepared entrees, fruits, vegetables, and desserts, a line of canned and dry foods, fresh meat and seafood, and dairy products, beverage products, imported specialties, and fresh produce. The non-food items include paper products such as disposable napkins, plates, and cups, tableware such as china, and silverware, cookware such as pots, pans, utensils, restaurant and kitchen equipment, and supplies and cleaning supplies. Now moving on to Performance Food Group Corporation. Incorporated in 2002, the company is engaged in the marketing and distribution of food and food-related products. The company operates through 3 segments, which includes Performance Food Service, PFG Customized, and Vistar. The products distributed by the company includes a range of frozen foods such as meat, fully prepared appetizers and entrees, fruits, vegetables, and desserts, a range of canned foods, fresh meats, dairy products, beverage products, imported specialties, fresh produce, and candy, snack, and other products. And the non-food item, the company is engaged in distribution of paper products such as pizza boxes, disposable napkins, plates, and cups, tableware such as china, and silverware, cookware such as pot, pans, and utensils, restaurant and kitchen equipment and supplies, and cleaning supplies. The customer base of the company includes independent and chain restaurants to school, business and industry, location, hospital, vending distributors, coffee office service distributors, big box retailers, and theaters. The company currently has around 71 distribution centers to cater to around 150,000 customers in various countries. Let's move on to the financial. So the financial performance, as investors are interested in the return from the investment made, They rely on financial statements to observe how the company is performing. Utilizing the fund, managing resources, and other evaluation of financial statements for certain years helps us in understanding the financial position of the company. By understanding the financial performance, financial ratios are calculated, which gives us the picture. The financial ratios for both companies for the last 5 years are calculated, provided below. The current ratio for both companies is provided in a table on the screen. So for PFGC in 2014, we had give me 1 second. For 2014, for performance, we had 1.47, 1.49, 1.47, 1.4, 1.51, 1.50, ranging from 2014 to 2018 for Performance Food Group. For Sysco, we had 1.53, 1.72, 1.22, 2.27, 1.32, and 1.21. The current ratio indicate on the liquidity position of the company and the measures of the ability of the company to repay its short-term and long-term liabilities. The higher the ratio, the better the company's ability to repay liabilities. As you can see here, the current ratio for Performance Group has remained range bound in the last few years. The ratio has declined for Sysco in the last few years, indicating a deterioration in liquidity position of the company. The ratio has remained moderate for both companies in the last few years. Moving to the quick ratio. For both companies, the ratio for Performance was 0.72 in 2014, 0.76 in 2015, 0.74 in 2016, 0.75 in 2017, and 0.73 in 2018. Sysco, it was at a 0.87 in 2014, a 0.90 in 2015, 1.65 in 2016, 0.80 in 2017, 0.71 in 2018. So a quick ratio gives a picture of how liquid asset the company has to repay its current liabilities. The higher the ratio, the better it is. So the quick ratio, like current ratio, has remained bound for Performance Group. However, the ratio, after showing a sharp increase in 2016, has declined over the last 2 years. The ratio has remained comparable for both companies in the last 2 years. So the cash ratio, the ratio for both companies provided in the table below. This is going to represent our cash ratio. So in 2014, Performance Group had 0.00, and then it went up to 0.01 in 2015, and it remained constant in 2016, and 17, and 18. Sysco, however, had a 0.09 in 2014 and increased to 0.55 in 2015 and continued to increase in 2016 to 0.88 and decreased to 0.14 in 2017 and decreased even more in 2018 to 0.08. The ratio indicates of the company's ability to repay its short-term liabilities using cash and cash equivalent. With the help of this ratio, creditors determine how much loan they can extend to their customers. The ratio for Performance Group has remained low in the last few years. In the case of Cisco, the ratio has declined in the last 2 years. Generally, higher the ratio, the better is the liquidity position of the company. But for both the company, the ratio has remained low. Let's move on to debt to equity ratio. In these two tables, this is what is represented. The ratio indicates the portion of the equity and debt used to finance the company's asset. The lower the ratio, the better it is. It indicates that the company has relied more on shareholders' equity for financing their external debt. So, Performance Group had 3.29 in 2014. In 2015, it dropped to 2.85, and it continued to drop over the next 3 years. In 2014 for Cisco, it started out at 0.52, and it continued to increase over the next 4 years. From 2015 to 2018, it went from 1.39 to 3.32. So the ratio has consistently improved for Performance over the last 5 years, whereas the same has consistently deteriorated for Cisco in the last few years. This indicates that the solvency position of the Performance Group is better than Cisco, and Performance Group has relied more on shareholders for financing its business rather than on external debt. Moving on to an equity ratio. Performance Group had a 0.13 in 2014, and a 0.15 in 2015, and a 0.239, in 2016 they had a 0.23, in 2017 a 0.24, and 2018 a 0.28. Cisco had a 0.40 in 2014, a 0.29 in 2015, a 0.21 in 2016, and a 0.13 in 2017. In 2018, they had a 0.14. So the equity ratio is solvency ratio, which measures the amount of asset that they are financed by the owner investments. For conservative companies, equity ratio is higher than its debt, which implies that the business makes use more of equity and less debt in its funding. The equity ratio for Performance Group has consistently improved over the last few years, whereas the same has declined for Cisco in the last few years. The higher the ratio, the lower is the interest burden on the company. The equity multiplier. The ratio for both companies is provided in the following boxes, and Performance in 2014 was 7.46. In 2018, it was at a 3.53. Cisco was at a 2.5 in 2014 and ended at a 7.2 in 2018. So the ratio is used to measure a company's financial leverage. A high equity multiplier indicates the company has been using more debt than equity to finance the purchases. The ratio has improved over the last 5 years for Performance Group, which indicates the company has been using less debt and more of the equity to finance its asset purchase. Overall, looking at various ratios, we see that Cisco is relying more on debt, whereas Performance relying more on equity for financing its business and assets. So this is the gross operating margin. The ratio for both companies is represented here. In 2014, Cisco was at a 12.4%. In 2018, it was at a 13.0%. Cisco was at a 17.6% in 2014 and increased to 18.9% in 2018. The ratio of Cisco has remained higher than performance over the last few years. The same has remained range bound for both companies overall. Both the companies operate in the similar line business, with Cisco performing better than Performance Group in terms of profitability. And so, to wrap things up, the profit margin for Performance Group was at 1% in 2014. In 2018, it was at, in 2014, it was at 0.1%. In 2018, it increased to 1.1%. For Cisco, it was at 2.0%. In 2018, it was at 2.4%. The net profit margin is profitability ratio, which indicates on the profit which company makes from its sales. The higher the ratio, the better it is. The ratio for both companies has consistently increased over the last 4 years. However, the ratio has remained better for Cisco as compared to Performance, which indicates that Cisco is making higher profits from its sales as compared to Performance. Return on assets. The ratio for both companies has been constant over the last few years. So the ratio remained higher for Cisco compared to Performance, which means that the company is utilizing its resources efficiently. The ratio has constantly improved for both the companies in the last 4 years. And that's what we're going to end things there.